Hey guys, there's an event going on in Reverse 1999 called Early Spring Visitors, which gives us an item that lets us obtain one 5-star character for free. We're gonna take a look at all the characters that you should consider picking up, when you should pick them up, and why should you consider picking them up. The characters that are worth considering are Jennis, Matilda, Bkornblume, Necrologist, and Barbara. Let's start off by taking a look at Jennis. So when and why would you ever consider picking up Jennis? That is if you want, out of all the 5 stars, the one that grants the most overall survivability to your team. Jennis grants shields, immunity, and heals to your team. Additionally, she can also reduce the damage dealt minus 20% for 2 rounds on one target. So one enemy deals 20% less damage for 2 rounds to you, while you provide heal and shields. That is pretty good. Now another reason why you would pick up a character is to obtain a portrait for that character. In Jennis' case, you have to watch out how many portraits you already have, because in case you have portrait 1, and now with this 5-star collector, 5-star collector, you would obtain portrait number 2 for Jennis. That would not really be worth it. But if you don't have any portrait, picking up 1 is worth it. And then if you pick up portrait 3, 4 or 5 for her, that is also worth it. Just ensure that you do not choose her if for picking up the second portrait for her. That would not make her worth it. So why should you pick up Jennis? Because she is the overall best 5-star in the game, so to speak. Now it depends, right? Don't pick her up if you would unlock her portrait 2. That's not worth it. Also, if you don't need a supporter that provides heals and shields to your team, then Jennis is obviously not worth it. Although, out of all the 5 stars, as I said, she is the best overall support when it comes to providing the highest amount of survivability to your team. And there you go. So don't pick her up for portrait 2. Don't pick her up if you have enough 6 stars as your supports. Pick her up for any portrait that is not portrait 2. Or if you would benefit, one of your teams would benefit from having a support that provides overall great survivability to your team. That was it for Jennis. Now let's go and take a look for Matilda. That is a little bit more simple, because Matilda is, you only would ever pick Matilda up for her euphoria, and of course you have to fully max out her entire euphoria, and that is not really cheap. It costs heavy materials, so keep that in mind. And the only reason to pick her up for her euphoria is if you pulled for Bkornblume and you already have Voyager and her euphoria maxed out. In that case, then you can pick up Matilda to slot her into the team, as she is a great fit and synergizes very well with the team. Now you could also pick her up for a portrait. Which portrait you pick up here, that doesn't matter at all. Every single portrait for her is great. So if you don't have her portrait 5 and you play that Bkornblume Voyager team, then you can seriously consider picking up Matilda as your 5-star to increase your portraits. That would be a very, very viable choice, but only if you play that Bkornblume team. And that's it for Matilda. Let's now go and take a look at Bkornblume. Now Bkornblume is a very unique and very, very good character to fit into many teams, but you would mostly profit from putting Bkornblume in your team if you play a main DPS that does reality damage, as Bkornblume decreases the reality defense by 25% for your enemies. So keep that in mind. Also, what makes her really, really great is her unique ultimate, because you can inflict seal for 2 rounds on an enemy target, and that prevents it completely from using its ultimate. If an enemy would be immune to seal, she decreases the moxie by 2 to that target instead. So that is a very, very useful and very unique ultimate, which makes Bkornblume a great character overall. But then again, keep in mind, you profit most from her if your main DPS does reality damage. Now, for her Euphoria upgrade, that is pretty much completely useless. So you could still go into this Euphoria upgrade thing and make sure that she gets the stat boosts. But yeah, stop as soon as you would unlock these abilities here, right? Only go into Euphoria to increase Bkornblume's stats. Keep that in mind. Now, her portraits are also, every single portrait for her is completely useless, as she is not here to deal damage, and all her portraits would increase her damage output. And that is absolutely not worth it. That is not what Bkornblume is here for. Bkornblume, he is here to increase the damage of her allies, especially the allies that deal reality damage, and to make sure that your opponents cannot use their ultimates. That's Bkornblume's job, not dealing damage, right? So keep that in mind. You would need a few materials to increase her Euphoria for the stat boosts. And if you already have Bkornblume, then going for one of her portraits is completely useless, right? So yeah, again, when and why should you pick up Bkornblume? Because of her unique ultimate, right? And when is, if you play a main DPS that deals reality damage, right? I said that multiple times by now. So yeah, that's all about Bkornblume. Don't pull for her. If you already have her, her portraits are not worth it. Let's move on and take a look at Necrologists. Now, Necrologist is a very special character because of her ultimate. Now, that grants you a revive. That is already very unique and makes her a great character overall. But she's especially great right now, as in the current storyline, Last Evenings on Earth, the last stage, there is a boss, the final boss of this storyline, uses a devastating mass attack that would kill off all your allies if you don't deal enough damage in time. So you can cheese this fight with Necrologist ultimate, as you can survive this devastating attack from the boss, and if you do, the boss withers away and you win the fight. So if you can't beat the last boss of Last Evenings on Earth's storyline right now, then Necrologist is like the best pickup you could possibly do, and that's why you should pick her up. But also, like, every player should have Necrologist as at least like one copy of her, right? You should have her in your arsenal just because of this ultimate. It lets you cheese some fights, as I just explained. Furthermore, yeah, she has one spell that is completely useless, unfortunately, but it doesn't really matter that much. So then her second spell allows you to dispel buffs from your opponents. That's like very great. In a lot of stages that comes in handy. It's not something too groundbreaking. So yeah, she's all about her great ultimate. Keep that in mind. Her portraits now, if you have no portraits for her, then it's very beneficial to pick her up, as her first portrait is really, really good. Then portrait 2, 3 and 4 are all useless. So you would only pick her up for portrait 1 or to unlock her portrait 5. And that's really about it. If you don't have Necrologist at all, you can't go wrong by picking her up, no question about it. And that's about Necrologist. And then last but not least, we have Barbara. Now, it's also a very straightforward and simple character. She provides a lot of shields to your team with her ultimate and with one of her spells. She is the most beneficial to your team if you play a main DPS that does mental damage, or any character that does mental damage for it. It can also be a sub DPS. Yeah, point is, she increases the mental damage that you deal. And that's really all Barbara does. She provides shields and she increases mental damage. That's it. Now for her portraits, if you have her once, then don't pick her up with this 5-star collector, because her first portrait is completely useless. All the other 4 portraits are beneficial though, so if you have Barbara, portrait 1, then you can pick her up and make her even better. That will be beneficial, right? And yeah, that's really already all there is to say about Barbara. So if you have a main DPS that deals mental damage, and you would like to have a support in your team that provides a whole bunch of shields, then you pick up Barbara. Otherwise, maybe someone else is better than Barbara, but it's a good character, right? Very solid. Mental damage, main DPS, you pick her up, totally. Like if keep the portrait stuff in mind that I just explained, and that's about it. So now let's go over each and every one of those characters really quick, and just mention real quick why that character is good. Jennis provides the overall best survivability to your team that a 5-star could possibly provide, and that's why you could pick her up. Matilda is very specific, and she can only be played in the Bkornblume Voyager team. If you have those, pick her up, increase her portraits, super good, but only if you have Bkornblume. Bkornblume has a very unique ultimate, and she prevents your opponents from using their ultimates, plus she increases the reality damage that your main DPS will deal. So that's why you should pick up Bkornblume. Necrologist, again, very solid ultimate, and that's about it. If you like an ultimate that is a revive, which is always handy and always good, pick up Necrologists. Barbara you pick up to increase your mental damage dealt and for shield providing, right? She provides a lot of shields, that's always good to have, that's why you should pick up Barbara. And that's it for the video. I hope that was fun and informative. If you like Reverse 1999 content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel, I would really appreciate it. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, and we love this game.